after we've lost everything, we're free to do anything.
Oh, no, whenever you would stay my baby, I know that my mother would never.
Why I think women are worse nowadays is we're bailed out. We are paid to leave marriages and we're paid to be single mothers. If you pay someone to do something, they're going to do more of it.
They don't fear consequence.
Yeah, and so when women, like men, and if men were paid to be single fathers, I'm sure there would be more.
What?
And so what happens is women, like, again, how do most relationships start? Situationships, and girls want to get the kid from the guy, and like they want to get there's whole Reddit threads of women trying to figure out how to get a guy, get a guy's kid, and even this has been on national TV. This is how big this problem is, and it's because when women get on birth control, they say they're off of it, or they get in that situation because they want to get the top 20% of men. Like, this is what girls always do. It's every time we make a point that's for the men and that makes sense, we have to bring up the exception. If that was the case, then you would see the men with the most options, the most handsome men and the most rich men with fat chicks, but they're not. The men that date fat chicks, it's usually they don't have as many options. And some girls get away with it a little bit more because they're shaped better, they have a pretty face, but by and large, men just don't like fat girls.
Younger women tend to be attracted to men who show these dark triad traits: narcissism, Machiavellian, and psychopathic.
You are not wrong.
So what's up?
Logically, it doesn't make sense, but boy, women, are we in trouble. Because apparently, this brand spanking new study that was just published in September 2019, they asked 46 young men between the ages of 17 to 25, all different ethnicities, all different levels of physical attractiveness, to make 2-minute videos about themselves, talking about what they like to do on a date, basically like a dating video. And at the same time, they had them rate themselves on some questionnaires that are designed to see how many psychopathic traits they have and how socially cunning they are. And guess what? 100+ women viewed these videos, and they rated these guys with the highest level of psychopathic traits as the most sexually attractive.
That's attractive to a lot of women, that a man would date multiple women and then just not lie about it. They're just so used to being with men who lie, because these men did not serve in the military. They did not play football. They've never been underneath a bench. It's very different. When I grew up in the 80s and 90s, we wouldn't talk shit about each other on social media. We just go have a fist fight and then we were cool afterward. That doesn't happen anymore. And so it's just a very different masculinity, if you will. And I think when a woman would meet someone like you who would be honest with them about it, the fact that you were honest is just so contrary to what they're used to, which is the guy who says, hey, we're in a relationship, and then I don't want you sleeping with any other guys, and then while you're at work, I'm going to go fuck other women. That's generally what we see a lot of. And like, when you can just be honest about it, there's a lot of women that are like, wow, that's incredible. This guy can just be honest. You know what I'm saying?
What sort of oppression do you face?
Every man is an attacker for me. I have to leave the house always in fear.
But don't you think viewing like an entire group and assuming they're attackers, that's kind of a dangerous worldview?
That's the world that women live in. Your mother, you have a mother, right? Have you ever asked them, have they been attacked, assaulted, raped?
Yes.
Okay, and what would they say to you? Exactly. But do you think that's honestly true, or do you think that that's what they told you? How many men do you know that have assaulted a woman? None? How does the math on that add up?
You do realize that not all men are rapists, right?
I know that not all men are rapists, but not all men are not prone to assault.
What if men say, all women are liars?
And all women are liars, and all men...
I'm using it as an
But all men could have potentially attacked me?
She doesn't get it. There's no point. There's no point in engaging. He's starting off middle ground. The more you keep doing these interviews, you're gonna get red pilled. This is what happened to me. I started talking to these bots on the street who made no goddamn sense at all, spewing the same nonsense you see at Twitter, and then you're like, wow, everybody's brainwashed.
Bring your ex. Maybe you can make up. Get back together. I'll fix it. I'll mediate. Imagine the Twitch stream where I'm the mediator. I'm the marriage counselor. You and her, and I get it all fixed.
Listen.
But she will have to admit I was right, that no one grew apart. She just grew into a new dick.
She made an OnlyFans yesterday.
She's been doing a lot more than that, G. I don't know why you're worried about a fucking website. OnlyFans. That's a website. Don't worry about that. She's been up to a lot fucking more.
No,
how many times she not replied to at night? How many times she been asleep by 9 p.m.?
She's different, bro. She's different.
She's different. Yeah. She's super different, bro. 100%. She's so different. You know your problem? If I split up with a girl, I sit there and understand that females don't like to downgrade. And I say, okay, she now has to meet another man with hundreds of millions of dollars, who's an ex-athlete or kickboxing world champion, who's strong and smart and interesting and funny, and the most famous martyr of Earth for trying to crack the Matrix. There's no competition, but your problem is, you're so fucking normal. Yeah, you have a Twitch stream, who gives a shit? You look like Joe Schmo, you act like Joe Schmo, you do Joe Schmo shit. So if she'll fuck a man like you, she'll fuck basically anybody. And that means that she can get a guy from KFC or Starbucks or fucking some other random Twitch clown, and you can get replaced so quick. That's what your problem is. I don't have that problem. You do.
Young men need guardrails. They need a girlfriend, a job to tell them, no, you need to put on a shirt and get into work. No, you can't get high and drunk every night. No, if you want to continue to have sex with me, you need to get your shit together. I think that's really important for a young man, especially young men. And young women need it as well, but just not as much. So I think what you have is a generation of young men that have no motivation, no guardrails. They get their dope hit of addiction on Robinhood. They don't have the mojo to get out there and meet women as much because they're watching so much porn. They get this illusion that they have some sort of worth or affirmation when they say angry things on social media that they get rewarded for. They start blaming other people. Specifically, they start blaming women, and they become much more prone to misogynistic content. They start believing in conspiracy theory. They're less likely to believe in climate change. And some, they become just really shitty citizens. And we're producing just a massive amount of these individuals.
Do you think that makes it right?
I think that men should be careful of the women that they encounter. I think everybody should be careful.
I think men should always have
great.
representation.
That's great.
You're not taking advantage.
What are you?
What the fuck? You're not taking advantage? You see this fucking soy boy? This is a literal white knight. Just an NPC popping up out of nowhere saying the most generic shit that's not gonna get him laid.
Why are so many guys single today?
Because they suck. Dude, the average guy is shit.
I see these guys all over my feed. It's just these, alpha male influencers that shit on other dudes for not living up to this hyper-competitive discipline that you preach. Like, look, I'm an average guy, okay? I'm not waking up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm not eating raw animal testicles, and I'm not buying rental properties for passive income. I'm just an average guy. I'm good enough. That should be enough, right? Yeah, sometimes I get takeout too much. Sometimes, I pack a dip on the toilet and I've sat there too long and my leg falls asleep. That's fine. All average guys need is community. They need people that listen to them and love them and understand them for who they are. And then that will push them to higher levels of, a fulfilled life. Not someone like you telling them they're not good enough and they suck, okay? Buddy, you suck. You got the dump in your pants. Go get a spoon and eat my ass.
Guy pulls up to his Bumble date, leaves immediately and unmatches after being catfished. Her profile only had selfies.
I was supposed to have a first date tonight, and he just unmatched me on Bumble, so I guess we're not going to get drinks anymore. But I thought I would show you guys my outfit so somebody saw it. Because I know I'll get questions. My dress is from Eloquy, but I got it from D&Co. My jacket is from ASOS, and my boots are Topshop.
The reason it hurts so much when a woman breaks up is because you've been worshiping the woman who broke up with you. And worshiping somebody's not attractive. It's not attractive to them. It doesn't make them feel important. It makes you look weaker. It makes them feel overinflated in their own self-worth. But when you transfer worship from a human being to a purpose, a passion, a plan, or to a real God, it's going to hurt.
Bite my tongue, it's a bad habit.
Alright, let's talk about this. I used to see this firsthand with my ex. Like, we'd be hanging out, and she would just post a picture of just her face. And because she was a pretty girl, I would see so many guys swipe up on her stories, hard eyes, yo, you're so bad, let me talk to you. And she would show me the responses and be like, look at this, this is crazy. Before you sit here and go, see, this is what I mean, it's so much easier for women, we're alone and they're not. Bro, it is not the girl's fault, it's the guy's fault. Simping is the root cause of this, that's the issue, and you should know that's a problem by now. But let's talk about something different. Let's talk about how you can actually use this to your advantage. This is one of the reasons why I talk so much about cold approaching and being able to talk to girls in person, because a lot of them want that. This may sound kind of backwards, but because of the way that social media is and the way that everything works and attention, Being traditional often gives you better chances. Being the guy who's actually confident enough to go up and talk to a girl in person is often much better than just swiping up on her story.
When a girl talks about her ex, is she ever in the wrong? Every time a girl talks about her ex, but he was so toxic. Oh my god, he was crazy. My ex, I can't believe it. It was because he was a Scorpio. He treated me badly. She's never like, you know what? Yeah, I kind of fucked up. But I've heard dudes like, yeah, you know, I was a little, you know, that could have been better. Even me, I've been on the stream. I've said with shit that I fucked up in a relationship in the past. A girl is never wrong in a relationship. Her ego can't handle it. So when the relationship ends, she'll just find some way to call the guy a piece of shit.
The only kind of revenge that you can get on a woman is this. Say goodbye politely. Keep working hard. Increase your value as a man. Wait 3 years, 4 years, 6 years, 11 years, and you know this story, the 11-year story. And wait till you are the man, and she's just now some chick, 28, 29, and she's like, Tristan, you know, it should have always been you. Then you can either tell her no or break her heart again. Then you win. That's the only way to get revenge.
Sinatra said, the best revenge is massive success. So some girl dumps him. Right. Instead of sitting and feeling sorry for himself, he's turning around going, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to be the best goddamn guy any woman could ever want. And 10 years later, she happens to run into him at the gas station buying cigarettes or whatever. And he happens to be driving a Bugatti and looking good and has it all. That's the best revenge. And
I broke up with Danny and I went out with his two friends.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Uncle Danny!
His roommate.
Was this just to piss off Uncle Danny because you really liked him and you were mad?
I did, yeah.
What
People getting mad at me because I said I would leave my girl if she get big.
The comment section on that video was trash as fuck. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's crazy how women can sit on the internet and y'all can dog men out for everything that comes with being a man. It don't matter what it is, your height, your bald head, your shoe size, your income, your dick size, what you're driving, how your friends look. It don't matter. But let me tell you something, little bitch. In real life, you real fat. In real life, your body is small, your head big, your feet little. In real life, you can't see at night. In real life, you real unwanted. In real life, your pussy stink. But we can't say none of that because guess what? You gonna dog everything about us to minimize who the fuck we are as a man. But guess what, little bitch? Real life, we can get on your ass. Real life, you ain't got the support system you got. These bitches don't give a fuck about you, bitch. The fuck? Y'all better stop fucking playing with me. I'll do what I don't give a fuck. I don't care, baby. I'ma eat your ass up.
To go to work, gents. You want the bad bitch, you want the nice car, you want the nice watch. It is time to go to work. I don't care how you feel, don't care how much you slept last night, don't care if you're tired. You want that girl, you want that car, comes with a price. And guess what? Rent comes due every single month. The rent doesn't care how you feel. Your client doesn't care if you slept. The world doesn't care that your heart got broken this weekend. I know it sucks, but that's the reality. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to give you some tough love and wake you up because it sounds like nobody else is doing it in this world, minus a couple people. So I'm going to have to relay the message as well. Get up, rub the crust out of your eyes, take a shower, grab a cup of Joe, and get to fucking work, get to the gym, and let's make some shit happen, okay?
The church is actually like a homemaker, like a breeding ground for hoes. And we had this chastity speaker. Basically, she went up and she said, I got ran through, but then I found God, you know, praise God. And then the husband was like, oh yeah, and I found her after this. I was a virgin and I waited. And I realized, I was like, it's always the women who didn't wait. And I'm like, oh, it's like they're kind of marketing, you can be a hoe and then find a husband. Oh, it's like that's what they're marketing to young women. On top of that, the pastors have this reputation for screwing the congregation. Justin Bieber's like priest or whatever, pastor came out. I'm like, no wonder they preach forgiveness because he wants to screw all the hoes. And so what he's saying is all of you guys can wait. I'm going to screw them and add to the bodies. And then you guys can all marry them after I'm done. Because the guys will all tell me the girls are worse in the church. And I'm like, why would they be worse? Because they basically market that you can be a hoe forever and then get a husband at the end. And so then all the hoes go.
She said this.
There's a saying, women hits the wall when they get to 30, not lead them to have a lot of options as they did in their 20s and have to settle with their third or fourth options.
The crux of her original video is to point out how biology affects our mating choices, and it's not just about how attractive a person is or how compatible they are. So she gets into the data, how women's fertility plummets after their early 30s. This causes a sense of urgency for many women, and that urgency then drives them to, more often than not, choose a man that is more like their third or fourth choice and not their first choice. So this video is for men. If you've been following me for very long, you know it's a theme of mine. We need to be first choice, not third or fourth choice. You will not be happy with that situation in the long run. She has to fall for you. If you find yourself in a situation where you have to win her over, you're not her first choice. It doesn't have to be the 35-year-old woman racing her biological clock either. It could be a woman in her 40s or 50s. She has her own sense of urgency, if for nothing else, a sense of security and not wanting to live alone. So any signs of a lack of genuine desire, a lack of genuine interest, men, you just got to walk away. You have to be the first choice. That's her urgency speaking and not her desire.
Imagine me. I'm a bad bitch.
Huh? Says who?
I have my fucking life together.
Are you sure about that?
I have a house. Well, not a house, a condo. I bought it myself. I have a dog. I raised her.
Oh, you bought it yourself? Who else would have bought it? Your mommy? Your daddy?
I pay for her food. I pay for her vet bills.
You want a fucking cookie? What is this?
I have a car. I pay for my car insurance. I pay for everything. I pay for my clothes. I pay for gas. I go to work.
Well done.
I have a wonderful job that I honestly truly love. I go to the gym. I work on myself.
Stop the cap. Bite my tongue, it's a bad habit.
Let me guess, you really thought you was the only guy? You thought you was the only guy that was gonna like the thirst trap or the bikini pic, right? No, bro, you just blend in. You blend in with the rest. But I bet those guys are nowhere to be found when she posts things about mental health. I bet they're nowhere to be found when she posts family pictures, pictures of her dog, pictures of a city or fall season and things like that. Start liking things that if you swiped up, you could have a genuine conversation. As much as women promote physical features, they're tired of people just looking at them as physical objects. Women want to have conversations. Show that woman that you see her as more than just her physical attributes. Be able to have a genuine conversation where you can express certain things, where you guys can relate. Stop liking the thirst traps and the bikini pics, bro. Come on.
For you in the beginning stages when he's meant to impress you.
It's Uncle T. I'm going to ask a question, ladies, and I need you to just pause and think about what I'm saying. So, we can assume vast majority of successful men are gone. They're off the market via married or relationship, right? So, the only type of woman who's on social media spitting the game on how to get it are failures. Because a woman who has a successful man will not be on social media teaching a younger version of herself how to be her competitor. You understand what I'm saying? So now let's talk about the men. If vast majority of men are off the market, why would you think a man would deal with any type of woman who don't know how to shut the fuck up? They need you to shut the fuck up for a reason, if you know what I mean. So they'll never date this type of woman.
You might not say it's not all women. I agree with you. It's just funny when women always seem to come after a hoe phase. That's just what I've heard from the men. It's just interesting how right after the hoe phase, now you're here.
Women are not listening to when the men talk, but men somehow have to shut up and listen to when women are talking.
Exactly.
How can you tell a man what you want when the man's telling you what I want? A man's saying,
Exactly.
this is what I want, and the women are like, nah, you don't want it because I'm all this.
I'd like to pull a power move on the first date, and I offer to pay and see what they do.
Okay, this is cute and all, right? But you're still playing checkers while men are playing chess. And I say that because as a man, you already know going into that first date, You're paying for the first date. It is like, that's just what it is. You should want to pay for it as a man, right? So before you even sit down to take this test, you've already aced it because you already know in your head that you're gonna pay for it. So she can pull this cute little line, but it really doesn't do anything. And this is why we say the bar is at an all-time low, because fellas, if you seriously think you're gonna go on a first date and the bill should be split, or she should pay for it, or she should even offer, I'm not gonna lie, you tripping.
It's crazy to think that all over the country this exact argument is going on between couples. Boyfriend, I don't really know if I'm comfortable with you going out with your ass hanging out without me. Girlfriend, quit being so insecure and quit trying to shame me. Boyfriend, it's not that I'm insecure or trying to shame you, it's just that you're wearing a very provocative and sexual outfit out, like pretty much objectifying yourself to a party without me and a bunch of guys around. I don't understand what the purpose of that would be besides to get other guys' attention. Girlfriend, I don't care. I'm wearing it out anyways, bye. Boyfriend the next day, enters gym, starts revenge arc. End of story.